Good evening and namaste to all my viewers, my beloved students and others. You all are welcome to Genius Lakshya, which is a unique platform for all the aspirants of UPSC, GPSC, NDA, and CDS. So, in the series of Indian polity, we have been discussing many topics from the UPSC perspective, which is very important to understand. And today we will discuss, we will understand again Indian polity. If your fundamental understanding on Indian polity is very strong, then it will definitely help you a lot in almost all the examinations. So here we will understand, discuss the Panchayati Raj system in our country. In the series of Panchayati Raj system, we have understood the introduction, the fundamentals, the three-tier system of the Panchayati Raj. You'll get a lot of questions from this topic, Panchayati Raj, in many examinations in our country. And we have been reading, learning, and discussing the topics in detail and depth. So again, with a new topic, I have come to you and let's start the discussion. If you have any doubt, any query, then you can write me on my email ID rohit rohit shikac at geniusschool.co.in is my email ID. For any queries, any doubts regarding your career, you can write me on my email ID for getting the solution and answer. And if you have any doubts and query regarding the presentation of the day, regarding the topic of the day, then you can comment me. I will get back to you and I will answer you. Okay, so let's start the presentation of the day. I'm sharing my slides, my PPT presentation with you. I hope it is visible and audible to you. Then let me know, comment me, yes, it is visible. Then we will start the presentation. Okay. So if it is visible, comment, yes, it is visible. And if it is audible, let me know it is visible as well as audible. So let's start. I'm sharing the first slide to check. So in the series of Indian polity, we have been discussing various topics, and today we are going to discuss one of the most important topics from the Indian polity, that is Panchayati Raj system in our country. Am I visible and audible? Let me know. Yes. Hath. Yes, it is visible. Okay, Hath. Enjoy the session. And if you have any doubt, any question, feel free to question me. Okay? Be there. So, we are going to discuss disqualifications. In the topic of the Panchayat Raj system in our country. And let's start. A person shall be disqualified. A person will be declared disqualified, not fit for being a member of Panchayat if the person is so disqualified under any law. If the law has disqualified him, then the person will be disqualified as a member of the Panchayat. And it will be for the time being, for a period of time, in force for the purpose of election to the legislature of the state concerned. And a person will be declared unfit to be the member of the Panchayat under any law made by the legislature of that state. However, no person shall be disqualified on the ground that he is less than 25 years of age if he has attained the age of 21. Again, all the questions to disqualify a person in the Panchayat shall be referred to such authority as the state legislature determines. Whatever the state legislature will decide will be accepted. After the disqualification of the member in the Panchayat, the next point is State Election Commission. The superintendence, the direction and the control of the preparation of electoral rolls and conduct of all elections to the Panchayat shall be vested in the State Election Commission. So, the election process of the Panchayat is taken care of by the state election, or in other words, the state election conducts the election of the panchayats, its preparation, its conduction will be done by the state election commission of that particular state as far as the panchayat election is concerned. And the state election commissioner to be appointed or is appointed by the governor of the concerned state. In other words, the governor appoints the state election commissioner. The service, the time period or the tenure, the state election commissioner of office shall also be determined by the governor. So number one, governor appoints the state election commissioner. Also, governor decides the time period, the service of the state election commissioner. Then the state election commissioner shall not be removed he will not be removed from his office except in the manner and the ground prescribed for the removal of a judge of a state high court. In other words, the removal procedure of the state election commissioner is equal to or equivalent to or akin to the removal process of a judge in the state high court. The way the state high court judge is removed, in the same process is followed for the removal of the state election commissioner in a state. Then his condition of service, the election commissioner's condition of service shall not be varied, shall not change to his disadvantage after his appointment. The state legislative may or may not make provision with respect to all matters relating to election to the panchayat. So it is the authority of the state legislative to make provisions relating to the election of the panchayats in that state. Now we will understand the powers and the functions. The state legislature may endow the panchayats with such powers. The state legislature may provide, may give panchayats powers and authority as may be necessary to enable, to empower them to function as institution of self-government. As we know that Panchayat Raj system is a self-government. So, the state legislature may empower the Panchayat Raj system to function as an institution of the self-government. Such scheme may contain provision for devolution of power Devolution of power means the transfer of power from the central level to the local level, or the transfer of political power from the central to the local is devolution of power. And the responsibilities upon the panchayats at the appropriate level with respect to the preparation of plans for economic development of social justice and social justice is the responsibility of the panchayat, and the implementation to put into practice of the schemes for the economic development, for the social justice, including the 29 matters listed in the 11th schedule of the Indian Constitution. Then we will discuss the financial matters of the Panchayat Raj system. The state legislature may authorize, may give power to Panchayat to levy, to collect, to appropriate taxes, duties, tolls and fees. Means the state legislature may give power to Panchayat to collect fees, duties and appropriate taxes. Again, the state legislature of a concerned state may assign, may give to panchayat taxes, duties, toll and fee levied and collected by the state government. So whatever the state government levies, that can be given to the panchayats to do so. So the panchayat can collect taxes, duties and other fees. Then the state legislature may provide, may give for making grant in aid to the panchayats from the consolidated fund of the state. So the state can make financial grant to the panchayats, and that grant will come from the consolidated fund of that state. Also, the state legislature may provide, may give for constitution of funds for crediting all monies to the panchayat. So these are the financial matters in the Panchayat Raj system in our country. Then we will understand finance commission in the Panchayat Raj system. The government of a state after every 5 years constitute or forms or make a finance commission. So after every 5 years, the government of a state make a finance commission to check, to review the financial position of the panchayat. Then this finance commission will make recommendations to the governor. So let's understand what kind of recommendations are recommended by the finance commission to the governor. Number one, the principles that should govern are the distribution between the state and panchayat of the net proceeds of taxes, duties, tolls, fees levied by the state and allocation of the share amongst the panchayat at all levels. So this finance commission recommends the governor regarding the distribution of finance between state and the panchayats. Also, the Finance Commission recommends the governor regarding the determination of taxes, duties, tolls, and other fees that may be assigned to the panchayats. The grants in aid to the panchayats from the consolidated fund of the state, as the panchayat gets grant in aid from the consolidated fund of the state, is also recommended by the Finance Commission of the state to the governor of that state. Also, the Finance Commission recommends regarding the measures required or needed to improve the financial position, the status of finance of the panchayat, how the panchayat can be made financially strong, and what measures are required or needed to improve the financial condition of the panchayats are recommended by the Finance Commission of the state to the governor of that state. Any other matter referred to it by the government in the interest of the sound finance of the panchayat system is also recommended to the governor by Finance Commission of the state. Then the state legislature may provide for the composition of the commission and required qualification of its members and the manner of their selection. So the state legislature decides regarding the members, their selection for the Finance Commission of that state. The government of the state place recommendation of the commission along with action taken report before the state legislature. So what kind of actions have been taken? That report is placed along with the action in the state legislature by the Finance Commission of the state. Then Central Finance Commission shall also suggest the measures needed to augment the consolidated fund of the state to supplement the resources of the panchayats in the state. So in addition to the State Finance Commission, the Central Finance Commission also suggests various measures required to augment the consolidated fund of a state to help to supplement the panchayats in the state. Now we will see the audit of the accounts in the Panchayati Raj system in our country. The state legislature may constitute some provisions with respect to the maintenance of accounts by the panchayat and the auditing of such account. Then application to the union territory. The provision of this part are applicable to the union territory. But the President of India may direct that they would apply to the union territory subject to such exception and modification as they may specify. Then we will understand which are the states exempted and which are the areas exempted. The act does not apply to the states of Nagaland, Meghalaya, Mizoram, and certain other states. So, the 73rd Amendment Act is not applicable to certain areas. Which are those areas? The areas like the schedule areas and tribal areas in the state. Then 73rd Amendment Act does not apply to the hill areas of Manipur, of which district council exists. And the 73rd Amendment Act does not apply to Darjeeling district of West Bengal, for which Darjeeling Gorkha Hill Council is there. However, the Parliament of India may extend the provision to this part if the Parliament of India decides that 73rd Amendment Act should be applicable to all these exempted states and areas, then it is possible. To the schedule areas and tribal areas subject to such exception and modification it may specify. With some changes also, the 73rd Amendment Act can be applied in some areas which are exempted for the application of 73rd Amendment Act. Under this provision, the Parliament has enacted the provisions of the Panchayats, popularly known as PESA Act of Extension. Now we will understand the continuance of existing laws and panchayats. All the state laws relating to the panchayats shall continue to be in force until the expiry of 1 year from the commencement of this act. In other words, the states have to adopt the new Panchayati Raj system based on this act within the maximum period of 1 year from 24 April 1993. Lastly, majority of the states passed the Panchayati Raj Act in 1993 and in 1994 to adopt the new system according to or in accordance with the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1992. Then we will understand the bar or the restriction to interfere by the courts in the electoral matters. The Act bars or interferes the interference by courts in the electoral matters of panchayats. It declares that the validity of any law relating to the delimitation of the constituencies and the allotment of seats to such constituencies cannot be questioned except by the election petition presented to such authority in such manner as provided by the state legislature. Then we will understand the 11th schedule of the Indian Constitution. The 11th schedule of the Indian Constitution contains 29 functional items placed within the purview of panchayat. Which are the 29 functional items in the panchayats are like agriculture, including agriculture extension. It includes land improvement. It includes implementation of land reforms, land consolidation, and soil conservation. Again, the 11th schedule contains the minor irrigation, water management, watershed development, animal husbandry, dairying and poultry, fisheries, social forestry, farm forestry, minor forest produce, small scale industries, including the food processing industries. All these are the items placed in 11th schedule which comes in the purview of panchayat. Khadi, village, cottage industry, rural housing, drinking water, fuel and fodder, road, culverts, bridges, ferries, waterways, and other means of communication, rural electrification, including the distribution of electricity. All this comes in the scope of panchayats. Non-conventional energy sources, poverty alleviation program, education, primary and secondary education, technical training, vocational education, adult and non-formal education, libraries, cultural activities, market fairs, health and sanitary. It includes hospital, primary health center and dispensaries, family welfare, women and child development, social welfare, including the welfare of the handicapped and mentally retarded, welfare of the weaker section in the society, particularly scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, and public distribution system, and lastly maintenance of community asset. All these are the areas where the panchayats can work upon. So all these are the items and the scope of the panchayats. Thank you very much. This is the end of the presentation. So today we discussed Panchayati Raj, where we discussed election process. Also we discussed Finance Commission, its function. Also we discussed State Finance Commission and Central Finance Commission. Also, we discussed the distribution of finance between state and panchayat. We discussed the in which ground the members are disqualified in the panchayat. So, by and large, we discussed the disqualification, finance, commission, function, and other matters related to the Panchayati Raj system in our country, and how the legislature of the state make rules and regulations regarding the function of the panchayats in our country. Okay, so thank you very much for joining me online, and if you have any doubt and query, you can write me on my email ID, that is rohitsika@geniusschool.co.in. Till then, take care. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.